Classification of anti-hyperlipidemia drugs. So the drugs which are treating the hyperlipidemia conditions are called as the anti-hyperlipidemic drugs, and these drugs are different mechanism of action, reduction in type and magnitude of lipoproteins. These anti-hyperlipidemic drugs will differ in their mechanism of action and reduction of type and magnitude of the lipoproteins which are caused for the hyperlipidemia conditions. So let us see the classification of these anti-hyperlipidemic drugs. First one is a HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors. So first one is a HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors. Examples are lovastatin, simvastatin, pravastatin, atorvastatin, rosuvastatin, etc. So that means all statins comes under this class. So they are nothing but HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors. All statins, examples are lovastatin, simvastatin, pravastatin, atorvastatin, rosuvastatin are comes under this class. And second one is fibric acid derivatives. Fibric acid derivatives. Examples are clofibrate, fenofibrate. Third one is bile acid sequestrants. Examples are cholestyramine and cholestyramine. Fourth one is a LDL oxidative inhibitors or oxidation inhibitor. Example is Probucol. Fifth one is the pyridine derivatives. Example is nicotinic acid, nicotinamide. Sixth one is cholesterol absorption inhibitors. Example is ezetimibe. Seventh one is miscellaneous agents. Example is beta-cetosterol. So these are the different classes of anti-hyperlipidemic drugs. So first classification is the HMG-CoA reductase inhibitor. So all statins comes under this class. Examples are lovastatin, simvastatin, pravastatin, atorvastatin, rosuvastatin, etc. And second class is fibric acid derivatives. Examples are clofifibrate, fenofibrate. And third one is bile acid sequestrants. Examples are cholestyramine, cholestypol. Fourth one is a LDL oxidation inhibitors. Examples are probucol. Fifth one is pyridine derivatives. Examples are nicotinic acid and nicotinamide. Sixth one is a cholesterol absorption inhibitors. Example is azitalmib. And seventh one is a miscellaneous agents. Examples are beta cystosterol. Next we will discuss about the chemistry and structural activity relationship of. We will discuss about the HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors. So here these drugs will inhibit the HMG-CoA reductase. So the HMG-CoA reductase is one of the enzyme which will convert the HMG-CoA into mevalonate-CoA. So that means HMG-CoA will be converted into a mevalonate-CoA by the action of HMG-CoA reductase. And these drugs will inhibit the HMG-CoA reductase enzyme. Okay. Examples are statins. All statins are comes under this class, and these statins are again subclassified into natural statins and synthetic statins. Example for the natural statins are pravastatin, lovastatin. And example for the synthetic statins are atorvastatin and rosuvastatin. When you see the chemical structures of these drugs, so this is the chemical structure of pravastatin. And when you see the chemical structure of lovastatin, so this is the chemical structure of lovastatin. The difference between the lovastatin and pravastatin is nothing but there is a ring closure at this place. That means there is a lactone ring is present. But here, in this case of pravastatin, consisting of a carboxylic group. And other difference is, so instead of hydroxyl group at this position, it consisting of methyl group. So these two compounds having the naphthalene moiety as the basic moiety in their structure. Similarly, simvastatin also having the naphthalene ring in its chemical structure, but there is no methyl or hydroxyl group at this position. So also having the lactone ring in this at this position. So this is the chemical structure of simvastatin. So that means at this position there is no substitution as that of the lovastatin or pravastatin. And the chemical structure of atorvastatin includes pyrrole ring, so to this pyrrole ring there is a different substitutions like isopropyl group at the 5th position, and at the 2nd position it consisting of chlorophenyl, in 3rd position it is having the phenyl substitution, and at 4th position it is having phenyl carbamides moiety, so at the 4th position consisting of phenyl carbamide moiety. And the nitrogen which is present in the pyrrole ring is attached to the dihydroheptanoate. So the nitrogen which is present in the pyrrole ring is attached to the dihydroheptanoate. So this is about the atorvastatin structure. So the atorvastatin consisting of a pyrrole ring, and to this pyrrole ring at the 2nd position there is a fluorophenyl ring substitution, and at the 3rd position it is having the phenyl ring, and at the 4th position it consisting of phenyl carbamide substitution, and at the 5th position it is having the isopropyl substitution, and the nitrogen which is present in the pyrrole ring is attached to the dihydroheptanoate moiety. So this one is called as the dihydroheptanoate group. So this is the structure of atorvastatin. In case of rosuvastatin, instead of pyrrole ring which is present in the atorvastatin, it consisting of piperidine ring. And to this piperidine ring, so there is a substitutions like sulfonyl amide, so there is a substitution of methyl sulfonylamyl group and fluorophenyl group at the para position, and at the 2nd position it consisting of isopropyl substitution, and the 3rd position it consisting of dihydroheptanoate substitution. So this one is the dihydroheptanoate group, and which is attached at the 3rd position of this piperidine ring. So when you see in the rosuvastatin structure, it consisting of a piperidine ring. To this piperidine ring, at the second position it consisting of isopropyl substitution, and at the third position it consisting of dihydroheptadoate, and at the fourth position, that is para position, it consisting of fluorophenyl substitution, and at the sixth position it consisting of methyl sulfonamyl amyl group as the substituent. And coming to the mechanism of action of this HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors, so they will inhibit the HMG-CoA reductase. So the conversion of HMG-CoA to mevalonate-CoA is the rate limiting step in the mevalonate pathway. So the mevalonate pathway is nothing but synthesis of cholesterol. So when this pathway is inhibited, the production of the cholesterol is inhibited. So in this way, they will reduce the blood cholesterol level. So the rate limiting step involved in this mevalonate pathway is nothing but conversion of HMG-CoA to mevalonate-CoA. So this will be catalyzed by the HMG-CoA reductase, and this enzyme will be inhibited by HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors. HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors. And when seen the mevalonate pathway, the HMG-CoA is obtained from the acetyl-CoA. So this HMG-CoA is obtained from the acetyl-CoA. So after there is a different intermediate steps, that means the acetyl-CoA is converted into acetyl-CoA, then after it is converted into HMG-CoA, and this will be converted into mevalonate-CoA, and it is subjected to different intermediate steps to produce the cholesterol. So the mevalonate-CoA is subjected to different intermediate reactions, biological reactions, to produce the cholesterol. And when this mevalonate-CoA synthesis process is inhibited by inhibiting the HMG-CoA reductase, then the cholesterol is not produced. So in this way, the HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors will show their anti-hyperlipidemic action. That means, so when you see the chemical structure of HMG-CoA, so HMG-CoA is nothing but 3-hydroxy-3-methyl glutaryl coenzyme. 3-hydroxy-3-methyl glutaryl coenzyme, and so this structure is similar to that of the structure which is present in the HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors. Like for example, when I take in the pravastatin, so it consisting of the similar structure like this. So for that reason, it will be competitively inhibit the binding of this HMG-CoA to the HMG-CoA reductase. Thereby, the conversion of HMG-CoA to mevalonyl-CoA is inhibited. So due to the similar structure of this HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors to that of the HMG-CoA substrate, they can competitively inhibit the binding of HMG-CoA to HMG-CoA reductase. So the binding of this HMG-CoA reductase to HMG-CoA is inhibited. So that means instead of this HMG-CoA, these HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors will come into the picture, and thereby the conversion of HMG-CoA to the mevalonyl-CoA is inhibited. When you see the structural activity relationship of this HMG-CoA reductase, So when you see in the structural activity relationship of HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors, they should be require a lactone ring, can be easily hydrolyzed. So thereby it can able to produce the similar structure which is present in the HMG-CoA. The lactone ring which is present in the HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors is required, and that can be hydrolyzed to form the similar structure which is present in the HMG-CoA substrate. So thereby it can commutatively inhibit the HMG-CoA to bind with the HMG-CoA reductase enzyme. Okay. And second one is the bicyclic ring system. Second one is the bicyclic ring system. That means naphthalene group is present in these HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors, particularly in case of natural statins. That means generally they are having the naphthalene ring, but they can also be replaced with the any type of lipophilic groups, lipophilic systems, so with the similar size and shape, so which can also produce the same activity as that of this naphthalene ring bicyclic system. And third one is the ethylene link or ethylene bridge, so which is present between the lactone ring and bicyclic ring system. So the ethylene bridge or ethylene group which is present between the lactone ring and bicyclic ring should be required to show this anti-hyperlipidemic activity. So these are the three requirements for the HMG-CoA reductase inhibitor to act as the anti-hyperlipidemic drugs. Next class is fibric acid derivatives. They are also called as 2-phenoxy 2-methyl propionic acid derivatives. Examples are clofibrate and fenofibrate. So when I see in the chemical structure of this clofibrate, so it consisting of a phenoxy 2-methyl 2-phenoxy 2-methyl propionic acid. So this is the methyl group, and so this is the propionic acid 2-methyl 2-phenoxy. So here in case of 2-phenoxy, it consisting of 2-chlorophenoxy. 2-chlorophenoxy moiety is present in the clofibrate. In case of fenofibrate, the chemical structure of fenofibrate consisting of pheno group, so this is the chemical structure of fenofibrate. So it consisting of 2-phenoxy 2-methyl propionic acid derivatives. So in the place of phenoxy group, it consisting of chloropheno group. So this is the chemical structure of fenofibrate. So the mechanism of action in case of fibrate acid derivatives includes they can reduce the plasma triglycerides, and they can reduce the blood triglycerides by decreasing or by depleting the levels of very low density lipoproteins production from the liver, so which is happened by reducing the lipoprotein lipase. So that means these phenofibric acid derivatives will decrease as the lipoprotein lipase enzyme. So that means they decrease the concentration of lipoprotein lipase enzyme, thereby the production of very low density lipoproteins in the liver is decreased. So it decreases the blood triglycerides level. And they can also speed up the removal of triglycerides from the blood with the help of PPAR alpha. So by the help of PPAR alpha, they can also speed up the removal of triglycerides in the blood. And they can also increase the concentration of HDL. But they can't deplete but they cannot decrease the concentration of LDL in the blood. So these are the mechanism of action in case of the fibric acid derivatives. So first one is they can decrease the plasma triglycerides, they can decrease the lipoprotein lipase enzyme, thereby they can decrease the production of very low density lipoproteins from the liver, and it leads to decreasing the blood triglycerides. And they can speed up the removal of triglycerides in the blood with the help of PPAR alpha proteins, and they can increase the high density lipoproteins in the blood, but they cannot decrease the concentration of low density lipoproteins in the blood. When you see the structural activity relationship of fibric acid derivatives, or fibrates, they are also called as fibrates. So these are comes under the phenoxyestic acid derivatives. So chemically they are phenoxyestic acid derivatives. So when you see in the basic structure of these fibrates, it consisting of a aromatic ring, there is a phenyl ring, and there is a oxygen, and there is a spacer group. And methyl propionic acid. And methyl propionic acid. So this is the basic structure of fibrates. So it consisting of a methyl propionic acid, spacer group, and methyl propionic acid. So the methyl propionic acid, that is the spacer group, is essential for showing this So the methyl propionic acid group is required to showing the anti-hyperlipidemic activity. For example, in case of clofibrate, it consisting of a ester group. So due to the presence of ester group, so in case of clofibrate, so the methoxy group is attached to the ester group. So in case of clofibrate, the phenoxy group is attached to the ester group. So due to the presence of ester group, this clofibrate will act as the prodrug. So the spacer group is required. So for example, in case of methyl propionic acid, as the spacer group is required to showing the activity. The same way, the presence of ester group in case of clofibrate, ester group in case of clofibrate so which will act as the prodrug. So due to the presence of ester group in the clofebrate, so which will act as the prodrug. The para substitution of chlorine, so chlorine, that means electronegative moieties. The para substitution of chlorine on aromatic ring, the substitution of the chlorine atom on aromatic ring at the para position will increase the half-life of the compound. So will increase the half-life of that compound. So for showing the anti-hyperlipidemic activity of the fibrates, it should require the spacer group. So that means like methyl propionic acid group is required. And if there is any presence of ester group, like in case of clofebrate, so due to the presence of this ester group, they will act as the prodrug. And the substitution of chlorine atom at the para position of the aromatic ring, so that is a phenyl ring, they can increase the half-life of that compound. And when seen the adverse reactions and pharmacological uses of these fibrates, so in case of clofebrate, it has the adverse effects like cholestasis, gallstones, pneumonia, eosinophilia. So these are the adverse reactions of clofebrate. That means it is having the cholestasis, gallstones, pneumonia, and eosinophilia. And it is effectively used in the treatment of type 3 hyperlipoproteinemia. In case of fenofibrate, it consisting of adverse reactions like headache, dizziness, fatigue, and arrhythmias. So it has the capability to produce the arrhythmia, and it is used as the potent hypercholesteremic agent to reduce the, so it is used as the more potent hypercholesteremic agent. So here are the adverse effects of fenofibrate, that are nothing but the headache, dizziness, fatigue, and arrhythmias, and it is used as the potent hypercholesteremic agent. So up to now we discussed about the introduction to the hyperlipidemias, different types of lipoproteins, so which are leading to the hyperlipidemias, classification of hyperlipidemia, and different classes of anti-hyperlipidemia. In that we discussed about the chemistry, mechanism of action, structural activity relationship of HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors as well as the fibrates. So in next class we are going to discuss about the remaining classes of anti-hyperlipidemic agents along with their chemistry, mechanism of action, structural activity relationship. Thank you.